With Jericho's fall, the fame of Joshua and his God spread throughout the land. The Canaanites now knew they weren't facing a mere army. They were facing a God who parted rivers and toppled walls with a shout. But while Israel celebrated, a shadow loomed over the camp. A man named Achan from the tribe of Judah had defiled the victory. He was walking through the rubble when he spotted among the spoils consecrated to God a valuable Babylonian robe, 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold. Greed clouded his judgment. He took them and buried them beneath his own tent. No one saw him, but the consequences were about to unfold. Unaware of the betrayal, Joshua set his sights on the next target, the small city of Ai. Compared to the majesty of Jericho, Ai was nothing more than a speck on the map, barely an outpost perched on a hill. Joshua's spies returned with a report, dripping with arrogance. "Don't wear out the whole army. Just send 2,000 or 3,000 men." Joshua, infected by their overconfidence, made a catastrophic mistake. He stopped consulting God. Then the unthinkable happened. 3,000 Israeli soldiers marched up the hill, but the men of Ai burst out to meet them with savage ferocity, shattering the Israelite ranks and chasing them down the hillside, killing 36 of them. The once invincible army fled in panic. It wasn't a massive slaughter, but the psychological impact was devastating. The Bible says the people's hearts melted and became like water. The bubble of invincibility had burst. Joshua, bewildered and anguished, tore his clothes and fell face down before the Ark of the Covenant until evening. He couldn't understand why God had brought them across the Jordan, only to hand them over to the enemy. Then Joshua cried out something very dangerous. "If only we had stayed on the other side." For a moment, his lament sounded like that of the faithless generation who died in the wilderness. But heaven answered him with fury. "Get up. Why are you lying face down like this? Israel has sinned." The problem wasn't the enemy's strength. It was inside the camp. God revealed to him that someone had stolen from the consecrated spoils, and that his presence would not accompany them in battle while corruption remained in the camp. Now the curse weighed upon all the people. As long as that sin stayed hidden, God's presence would not fight for them. The next morning, a solemn casting of lots took place, a trial by divine elimination. Tribe by tribe, family by family, the circle tightened until a single man stood exposed, Achan from the tribe of Judah. There was no escape. Joshua confronted him, but not with a judge's wrath, rather with a father's sorrow. "My son, give glory to the Lord, the God of Israel, and tell me now what you have done." Then Achan confessed what he had done. "Among the ruins of Jericho, I saw a beautiful Babylonian robe in the plunder. I coveted it and took it." The items were found exactly where he said, buried beneath his tent, but his secret had already cost the lives of 36 of his brothers. The justice was terrible, but necessary to purify the nation. Achan, his family, and all his possessions were taken to the valley that would forever be called Achor, meaning trouble. There they were stoned and burned beneath a great heap of rocks, a monument to the consequences of greed.